All right. What's up, folks? We are Let's Trailer Reaction. So we got a brand new trailer brought to us by our guy Rob here from the 905. And I quote, the text message was, "I'm so down for this," and then was a link to this trailer for The Green Knight. Which I believe is a follow-up to Martin Lawrence's The Black Knight, right?
Spiritual successor.
It's also part of the Ernie Reyes Jr. The Last Electric Night from the 80s and First Night with Richard Gere. No, it's not.
So this is a new property based off a poem, I believe, and we're talking King Arthur type mythology. So I won't get too into it because I think this is going to be unheard of to a lot of you viewers, and maybe you haven't followed this movie, but it's interesting that this has popped back up because we thought maybe it got lost in the sands of time or in the COVID pandemic, that maybe this wasn't going to happen, right, Rob?
Yeah, it's so weird because I remember seeing a teaser for this like well over a year ago. And again, we talk about how time means nothing since the pandemic has started, but it feels like it's been a year and a half. But I took a look. The teaser came out in February of 2020. That was supposed to come out last summer, this movie. I remember thinking when I saw the teaser, what is this? Like, I was so intrigued. And then as it happens, you don't think about it again. There's no other information. And it's so weird because just like literally a couple days ago or a week ago, I was like, there was a trailer I saw with Dev Patel. I was like, I wonder what the hell happened in that movie. And I couldn't think of it. And now this trailer comes up. So I was like,
thanks to Rob who willed this with his mind.
I was like, you would give me more info.
So this is brand new, just dropped today. We are May 11th. This is supposedly coming out in theaters July 30th. So let's just play the trailer and then we'll talk about it after. So this is The Green Knight, no affiliation with Martin Lawrence's comedy action vehicle, The Black Knight. So let's rock and roll. Let's trailer reaction to The Green Knight.
Friends, brothers and sisters,
good old wax seal.
who can regale me and my queen with some myth or tale.
A24. Whoa.
O greatest of kings, let one of your knights try to land them below against me. Indulge me in this game.
I will meet thee.
Oh.
Okay.
One.
I guess you were successful.
Yeah. Hence.
Oh, that was a trap. Thought it was gonna be hard, but it was easy and you got trapped.
Gone already. You must seek him out.
Was it not just a game?
Perhaps, but it is not complete. You'll find no mercy, no happy end.
Hey,
Why
Fox.
do you stop me?
You do.
It talks.
You rest your bones. I'll finish your quest for you.
Whoa.
Attack on Titan all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And what do you hope to gain?
Ooh.
Facing all of this.
Honor. That is why a knight does what he does.
Hard cut on that sound.
Yeah. I thought we crashed for a second there. It's pretty. It looks good. All right, in theaters this summer. Okay, so
take my money.
Whoa, that was a lot. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. So I can tell what genre is definitely Rob's, and it's going to be of the Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones kind of style stuff. So Rob, you've already seen this trailer. Let's go to you first. Your thoughts on seeing this and why you are so down for this.
I don't know. And I tried when I first saw it. I was like, it looks interesting. You know, in an age where we are inundated, and this is not, I'm not mad about it, but with comic book properties, we talk obviously a lot about, there's a lot of, you know, IP, the Transformers movies, this and that, all of the existing IPs. It's always refreshing to see something new. Even if you're kind of, it's birthed out of the Arthurian legend, it's still a new take. It looks like a new property, a new idea. And so I welcome these fresh takes on things. And so, but the trailer itself is just whack. Like you kind of start off and you're like, okay, yeah, but you start off and you're like, okay, you know, it's, you know, he's, you know, gonna, you know, it's a sword thing taking place in, you know, medieval times. And then it's got this fantastical approach to it. You got the headless, you know, Green Knight, and you've got, if you look at, you know, you have
is that guy, you think that guy's the Green Knight?
Well, he is
the tree dude. He's got decapitated.
He's got a crown. And you got like the tall people. You have, it's very grayish, the palette, but then you've got that princess, I guess, who is very lit up. Like it's just, it looks like a crazy, adventurous, like a balls to the wall fun. Like it really, whatever reason, this trailer was like speaking. I was like, I want to go see this now. Like it just looks like a hell of a lot of fun. So
I think it certainly sells the atmosphere. Sometimes when they do these kind of medieval shows, that show The Rain comes to mind. It sometimes looks too modern. It looks too clean. The costumes look like brand new off the rack from, you know, some whatever vintage store they could create. But this definitely does look like olden style. And definitely King Arthur, we could argue, is probably the originator of maybe superhero tales in a story form. And I did like Guy Ritchie did a film called Arthur with Charlie Hunnam and which I actually didn't mind. I felt like that movie got a bum rap. But this did give me vibes of, I don't know if you guys have ever come across this. There's a Boom Studios comic book called Once and Future, which is like a spin on King Arthur and kind of the resurrection of that character in modern day. So this actually gave me a little bit of vibes from that. So it looks interesting to me. I don't think I'm as crazy as Rob about it, but I definitely will maybe check this out and let's get to Chris before we talk about maybe A24 Studios or whoever this is. Chris Ho, what are you thinking?
I mean, it looked semi-interesting. You know, I normally do like this fantasy type stuff, like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones type stuff. If you're expecting a large-scale battle sequence, you're not going to get it. It does look very budget. Like you can tell, like I guess the creative trailer editing, that it looks like they probably filmed a couple of outside sequences in like a forest somewhere, maybe with a green screen, and then
when everything's kind of misty in the background,
it looks
kind of like, okay,
it looks
like
maybe
a full out set.
Yeah, and it looks kind of drawn out too. Like perhaps they're going to maybe really like milk some of these sequences, but it looked okay. I think it's worth a look just because of my fandom of the fantasy type stuff. I think it's worth a look in maybe.
Yeah. So brief thing. This A4 Studios or
A24.
What A24 A4? Why do I call it A4? Because Audi A4 is Audi A4 is a fine find. But the A24 Studios, they have a couple heavy hitters under their belt. Correct me if I'm not. If I'm mistaken, Rob, and you said Uncut Gems, the Adam Sandler, gem of a movie. I actually quite liked it.
Hey, they were. They also had distributed. It's more of a distributor, right? They also distributed.
So they acquired.
Minari.
So they see these movies
yeah.
and maybe believe in them. Yeah. So Minari, I think, Oscar award winning now, or
there was Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead and Invincible, right? He was the voice of Invincible. So they do produce a lot of things. They're a distributor. They've more of an indie art house type movie for maybe smaller budget movies would go to that need, a studio, because sometimes the bigger studios now, Warner Brothers, this and that, they're more looking for this in existing IP. They've done some television shows as well, stuff like Euphoria with Zendaya on HBO Max. So they are involved in a number of different properties. I took a look at this. You had said it earlier. This story is based on like a 14th century poem called Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. So, I'm all for it. Like I generally I like Lord of the Rings. I'm not a fantasy guy. Like I don't read the Game of Thrones books because I can't get into them. Like it's just not my thing. I like watching the show, but so a movie like this, it's kind of outside of my overall wheelhouse, but it just looks so good. I wanted to see it.
Yeah. I think like I said, I think they're doing a good job of selling like this fantasy genre. Game of Thrones obviously had almost not infinite budget, but quite a high budget, so they were able to pull this off. So it looks like Chris was saying, this doesn't quite have that extravagant budget. So it maybe does look kind of like it could have appeared on Netflix or one of the other streaming services, but this is going straight to theaters. So we'll see. Not to insult them, but I'm just saying we're in a time where now it probably might become that movies have to be made for less money. So we might movies like this might not to insult it or anything, might become the norm where they have to use the lower budget that they're given and produce something. Like you have movies opening at the box office only making what 8 to 10 mil opening night, whereas it used to be a giant blockbuster every weekend. So times are changing and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'll probably have to see one more trailer before I'm really sold on it. Reason I saw Arthur is because I do like the Arthur mythology and I do like Charlie Hunnam and I do like Guy Ritchie. So they had that little kind of entertainment aspect. Rob looks like he's all in. Chris probably needs a little more convincing, I guess, to get into this one.
It's got,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
it's got quite the cast. I mean, Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, right? I mean, she was our modern day Lara Croft and was from Ex Machina, Joel Edgerton. So like, there's Barry Keoghan, Sean Harris. There's a lot of actors in here, and again, you've got this is not our, as you said, we've Arthurian legend. Where the main character is not Caucasian. I think that's great. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it also adds a different aspect.
I always get made fun of when I mention, I didn't really get into Lord of the Rings and I didn't really get into Game of Thrones. And not to play my minority card again, but there's a lot of white dudes talking in those movies. So maybe this is something a little different, like mix it up a little bit. But I'm not saying I'm not demanding that those types of multiculturalism get inserted into those movies. Those kind of, that's the time period, right? So it's like it's very hard to change that, and that's a whole other debate. So let's not get into that. But thank you again for tuning in, folks, for this trailer reaction. Let us know in the comments. Are you going to go see Green Knight? Who knows if it's going to get?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Before we go quickly, is this a movie that you would pay money to go into movie theater when lockdown ends, or would you wait for it to come onto a streaming service?
Yeah, I think I would pop this on a streaming service. I don't think it has the comedy or action flair previously that would draw me to a movie theater. Everything's changed now, so who knows what's going to happen now. If the movie theater opens, then I'd be like, hey, if it's safe to do so, I'm going to run out and see whatever's available. But Chris Ho, would you first day rental stream it on a service you already own? Or are you just gonna wait till you happen to stumble across it?
I wouldn't pay extra. I would, if I was surfing on Netflix and I saw it, I would probably take a look at it at that point. Definitely not a theater thing though. I don't think it has the scale of a theater movie like the giant battle scenes, things like that. I know the way I watch movies in the theaters, I know that's not the only way to consume it, but.
This might be the more in depth, the performances.
I only want to give my money to Disney, okay?
I want to make sure their Pirates of the Caribbean ride is really good, so I'll give them everything I have. I'd go to the theater to see this for sure. I think it's one of these things that almost calls. Like, it looks like a spectacle, and right, so it almost calls to you to go to a theater. So that for me, I would, if things were safe, and I would totally, mask up and head to a theater for sure in July.
Yeah. So July 30th, we'll see what happens if it gets simultaneous release on streaming or whatever closer to that date, or if they drop another trailer or two that maybe kind of catches a little bit more of maybe either the action vibe or just something that will catch more people. So yeah, definitely in the comments, let us know if you're going to go check this one out. Let us know what you think of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Do you want to see a big resurgence, Marvel style, Fast and the Furious style amalgamation of movies? I think that would be next on the docket. Each night is introduced in a separate movie, and then they combine into the Knights of the Round Table.
One giant knight robot.
Okay, no, let's not get carried away. Let's still keep it in its genre. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Heroes World Podcast, new episodes every Sunday. Heroes World Sidekick Show is live every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This coming Monday, we are talking John Wick 1. So if you want to talk about movies live, tune in for John Wick 1 rewatch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much.